sliced both carotids. The killer knew what he or she was doing. The victim's hands and sleeves were bloody. She had probably made a futile attempt to staunch the flow and save herself in the few seconds before she lost consciousness. Probably bled out in a minute or two. "Any theories about where she was coming from or going to?" Harkins asked as he stood. The man with the notebook said, "That's your problem now, mate." "Don't be an arse," the tall one said to his partner. Then to Harkins, "It's just that we've had a lot of back and forth over jurisdiction with you Yanks. Tommy here is a little bit tired, that's all." The tall man held his hand out, and the one named Tommy handed over his notebook. "Why don't you take a walk, Tommy? I'll catch up in a bit." Tommy gave Harkins one more sour look, then walked toward the end of the alley. "Name's Hoyle," the tall detective said, offering his hand. "Detective Sergeant." "Harkins." The men shook. "The way it started, this was back in 42, any crime where both the victim and perpetrator were American was handled by your military authorities. If a British civvy was involved, either as victim or perpetrator, we investigated alongside your provost marshal. After a while, it got so the American investigators were cutting us out altogether if a Yank was involved. Naturally, some of the fellas resented this. Tommy, for instance." "I see," Harkins said. And he did. During his time as a Philadelphia cop, he'd seen arguments over jurisdiction break into actual fistfights among detectives. "Well, this victim is definitely yours, so you'll take charge of the remains. Tommy and I will do a sweep of the neighborhood, see if we can scare up any witnesses." Hoyle wrote something in his notebook, then tore out the page and handed it to Harkins. "Here's my number. We're at the station at Summerstown. Phone me at this number later today. Sooner if you find something." As Hoyle walked away, Harkins saw the MP at the end of the alley talking to two American officers. A major stepped around the soldier and walked quickly toward Harkins, a captain and a civilian trailing. The civilian was dressed in a rumpled suit and carried a camera. The captain was very tall. "You Harkins?" the major yelled when he was still 20 feet away. "Yes, sir," Harkins said, saluting. "Glad you got my message to get your ass over here. I'm Sinnott. This is Wickman." Major Sinnott did not offer his hand. Wickman reached forward as if to shake with Harkins, then thought better of it. That explained the first part of Harkins' morning. He had reported to the reception desk inside OSS headquarters on Grosvenor Street, duffel bag on his shoulder, and exhausted from an all-night train ride from Scotland, only to have the duty NCO hand him a barely legible note with an address he read as Kramer's Pancreas. Fortunately, the duty driver, a young British woman in the drab uniform of the Auxiliary Territorial Service, deciphered the note and delivered Harkins to Cromer Street in St. Pancras. Sinnott was about 5'10", same as Harkins, bigger through the shoulders and chest. His uniform, Harkins noted, looked tailor-made. Definitely not from some musty quartermaster's bin. When he removed his service cap to wipe his brow, Harkins noted the jet-black hair, slicked back like Clark Gable's. Seemed a little fussy for a crime scene first thing in the morning. "We have an ID," Harkins said, stepping away from the body as the photographer went to work documenting the scene. "Name's Helen Batcheller." Sinnott stepped past Harkins and bent over the body, cutting the photographer's line of sight. "Christ," Sinnott said. "That's a mess right there." He stepped away, checked the bottoms of his shoes for blood. Wickman did not approach the corpse. "Know what the Marquis called that?" Sinnott asked. He made a slashing move across his throat with one thumb. "A Gestapo collar. The Krauts used piano wire garrots, tied 'em up real slow to get the poor bastards to talk." Harkins wanted to ask what a Marquis was, but Sinnott never paused to take a breath. A real talker, this one. "We're going to run this investigation," Sinnott said as he moved farther away from the bloody mess that had been Helen Batcheller. The photographer went back to work. "What about the provost marshal, sir?" Wickman asked. He was easily 6 or 7 inches over 6 feet, rail-thin with narrow shoulders and long arms. He spoke softly, as if worried about interrupting someone's nap. "They've got that new branch," Wickman continued. "Criminal investigators?" "Criminal Investigation Division," Harkins said. CID. The new office, only constituted in January, was allegedly staffed by trained investigators and responsible for policing the vast numbers of crimes committed by GIs crammed into Britain. "To hell with them,"